It's one of the most notoriously difficult places to come and get a win on the English circuit. Since October '96, Gloucester have won 11 of their 14 league games here at Kingsholm. The Saints will know victory won't come easy. Our Allied Dunbar Premiership Rugby comes from the West Country as Gloucester take on Northampton. And let's see how it all turns out and join your commentary team, Stuart Barnes and Miles Harrison.
Well, a Premiership match, all about a modern-day 2 points, but when these two famous old clubs meet, there's a strong whiff of tradition in the air and passion as well. Both clubs have loyal and vocal support. Go back a long way. Well, this is the Gloucester side, which the fans will be shouting on.
Sorry, I never meant it.
Chris Catling and Scott Benton are welcome back behind the scrum. Up front, Mark Cornwall continues to deputise for Dave Sims in the second row. Skipper Pete Glanville plays, but he starts still suffering from a stomach strain.
Some of the best young tight forwards on display in the cherry and white of Gloucester. Phil Vickery is pushing hard for an England berth, while Rob Fiddler is a consistent line-out force in the Premiership. Scott Benton and Mark Mapletoft are a good blend of aggression and guile at half-back. And keep an eye on Chris Catling, a dangerous runner from full-back.
Well, Northampton delayed naming their side until this morning. Tim Rodber is rated as only 80% fit. His hamstring injury keeps him out, so Don McKinnon, Budge Pountney and Grant Seeley combined to make up the back row. Matt Dawson is able to play his part, though, at scrum half in what looks like an exciting backline.
Well, Gary Pagel's attempt to destroy Phil Vickery will be a real highlight of the afternoon. Budge Pountney is a lively and improving open side. Behind the scrum, Matt Dawson must vary the options at scrum half, while Grayson Townsend and Matt Allen are in really confident form in the Northampton midfield.
What a beautiful afternoon, and what a beautiful sight that is.
Cider in the West Country, bitter at the moment, but well, I don't know, we might even get a bit of champagne this afternoon, I think, Miles.
That was last week. One of our touch judges today is Tony Spreadbury. Our referee, in fact, is Colin Hawke, international referee from New Zealand. He'll be taking charge of England against Wales next week at Twickenham. So, an interesting warm-up for Colin Hawke this afternoon. And there's Matt Dawson leading out the Northampton side in the absence of Tim Rodber. One of the form teams, the Saints, a cup quarter-final to look forward to, having beaten Gloucester on their way. In the league, the top four in their sights. But here at Kingsholm, they last won 6 years ago. Mind you, not many win here, do they?
No, it's going to be a real test for Northampton, and I think it's a big test as well for Dawson and Grayson. Grayson will play 10, but you know, a big game from the Northampton captain could see him into contention for England.
Well, Gloucester with their pride hurt. 47-3 they lost in midweek to local rivals Bath. But they're back where they love to be.
Well, it hasn't stopped the shed turning out in force. And don't read too much into that result. They had a lot of key players missing, and they're in front of their huge and beloved audience. Gloucester will be tough to beat today, make no mistake.
Got a cloud in the sky. Conditions underfoot will be perfect. It's a firm surface, not the old muddy ground here. I know we've had a mild winter, but times are a-changing.
Yes, I can remember playing at Kingsholm. You used to dream of just 2 inches of mud. You thought you could play rugby in that. This is immaculate conditions, and I think we're in for a really good Premiership game.
There is Colin Hawke. As I say, back at Twickenham next week, where he last officiated for the England versus South Africa game at the tail end of 1997. So here we go, good old bread and butter Premiership stuff, full of personal battles, old scores to settle, not that old actually after the recent cup meeting, and an intriguing match in store. I would say very difficult to call as we kick off. And that was Scott Benton getting the ball away, the Gloucester scrum half.
A good player, Scott Benton. He'll be pleased there. Good, solid first kick. dangerous sniping runner, but he'll need that Gloucester pack to really give him some ball.
Without the influential Sims to throw at Gloucester. It's Alan Clark throwing for Northampton, but it's still Gloucester ball early on. They do have, of course, Rob Fiddler in there, one of the best young players around. And Mark Cornwall, who's standing in for Sims, is a fine club man as well.
Well, he did very well there. Cornwall, very aggressive jumper. You could see he got hands on ball. Unfortunately, Northampton drove Gloucester into touch, so they regained the ball. But that's unsettling for Northampton.
It's Irish international Clark, and there's the other second row we mentioned, Fiddler. And if Gloucester dominate that area of play, they will have done well against Phillips and Chandler.
They'll be very hard to beat if they dominate the line-outs, and that's a really good start for the home team.
Until then, ball drifting out on the fall. Benton recovering from a pulled shoulder, which he sustained in the recent match against Leicester.
Well, he held his hand up there. He was disappointed with himself. Good ball provided by his pack. Now a little bit of pressure on Alan Clark here. 2 line-outs thrown, none hit the target. Becomes a far more difficult art under pressure.
He's lost his international place to Keith Wood, of course, but also Ross Nesdale of Newcastle has come along higher up the ranks now for Ireland. But there's an effective line-out this time because it brings about a penalty, and Dawson goes for the tap, finds McKinnon. On the wrong side, but a little aggressive there, Northampton, in their use of the boot. And it's an early card for Chandler, formerly with the Auckland Blues.
Well, you can see the footwork here. That's a little bit excessive even for Mr. Bojangles. Yellow card there for Jason Chandler. That wasn't rocking, that was stamping.
Even for a New Zealander, that was a bit over the top, and a good decision by the referee. So there's a card early on for Chandler.
And Colin Hawke, of course, isn't going to give cards easily for rucking, because in New Zealand that's the art form, and he's one of New Zealand's best referees. But you could see there, that's unnecessary use of the boot.
The unfortunate man underneath all of that was Simon Devereux.
Well, he knows he's in the game now anyway.
Good work again from Cornwall. Mapletop, early chance to look at Toms, the Australian international centre for Gloucester. And as ever, the supporting man was Captain Glanville, and then he's taken on by Window, and Gloucester into their stride. Benton looks for Mapletop. Again, it's Toms, strong man, difficult to put down. Catlin the full back, and Northampton being asked questions here. Movement is good from Gloucester. Mapletop tries again, and Toms goes once more. It's on to Lumsden. Can he score? No, he can't, but it didn't go forward. Well retrieved. Window the prop. Townsend and Grayson in, and Gloucester almost up to that line. Benton driven back there though, and Pountney coming through. Excellent defence in the end from Northampton, and Grayson clears. But there, Stuart, Lumsden was a metre or two away from scoring that first try, and it would have been some score, wouldn't it?
Well, that was outstanding play from Gloucester. Mapletop very flat, putting his men through the gap, crossed the gain line, and in the end, it was good defence from Northampton, but they stretched them left and right, delayed balls. That was Richard Tom's third break, and defence just got there in hand. Budge Pountney did very, very well here, though.
Just wonder there whether Lumsden could have swiveled round and found Fanalua on the loop, because had he done so, there would have been a definite try.
But that's a very promising start for Gloucester, isn't it? Good drive in play, and it's clean and clinical.
Northampton put in, applauded by Matt Dawson.
Hello. Who's injured?
It's quite a battle up front. It's Gloucester who have the weight advantage.
Was it mine?
It's how you use the weight. At the moment, both sides pretty effective. Gloucester looking good in the line-outs.
Chris Forty is down, the hooker. He's in for Phil Greening. Greening, a man on the verge of the England team last season, but hasn't played since October this season. There's confirmation of the pack weights. 4.5 stone, Gloucester with the advantage, but we hear on Greening that it's about 4 more weeks before he's expected to be back into reserve team action. Yesterday trained with Gloucester for the first time for some time.
I'll tell you what, when Greening is back, when you've got Vickery and Window either side, that's a very, very dynamic front row. At the moment, worries about Chris Forty, a solid player, but of course you don't want to lose a hooker at such an early stage. Such an important position, isn't it?
He once played for the Southwest under-21 side alongside his identical twin in the front row, who's a prop. Could have caused a few problems for the referee,
especially with that haircut.
Mind you, Forty and Vickery have been to the same barber, haven't they?
Yeah, and on the subject of Vickery, I spoke to Colin Hawke before the game, and he said he is not going to let Vickery and Pagel get up to any fancy stuff, I think was the word he used. I think I know what he meant.
I think more the battles within the battle, it's the confrontation between Vickery and Pagel, which is the one to watch. Vickery pushing hard for an England place, Pagel one of the best props in the world. There's one of the former players in the Premiership, Matt Allen, bringing that back towards the Northampton pack. Another who considers a international future, I'm sure. Dawson already played for England, and the Lions gets Townsend moving.
Dawson's driving it very quickly from tap penalties.
There's Big John Phillips going in. Dawson once more. Everybody's gone short side. Nice little flip there from Grayson.
Little brawl developing at the moment. It's heated stuff on a warm day.
Dawson, that seemed to go forward. Referee's let it go. Seeley's trying to dig it out, pick the moment. And it all comes to nothing for Northampton. They rather shot themselves in the foot there, though. It's slowed the move right down. The right winger for Gloucester is Brian Johnson, the signing from Newbury.
He's a very quick right wing. Good counter-attack from Gloucester there. Willingness to run the ball from deep on a turnover. And there you can see McKinnon loses the ball, Chandler not quick, and Gloucester, they take it on very well. Good change of direction as well.
Chris Forty is struggling.
Yes, he is. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Gloucester at all at the moment, and 40.
On the bench is Neil McCarthy, the former Bath hooker, who left the recreation ground primarily because Mendes, Long and Regan were in front of him in the queue.
He's a good player, though, Neil McCarthy. I rate him quite highly.
And it's a good signing for Gloucester. I'm sure everybody at the club very pleased when he decided to make the short journey.
Well, Gloucester have long said their problem is they've got a good first 15, but their squad isn't as strong as some if you're going to challenge to win the Premiership, but it's getting better.
Well, both sides can point to a reasonable season so far. Look at that drive, but well taken away by Benton. Thornycroft, and he's driven into touch. And the Gloucester fans, away on that far side in the shed, love it.
What they wouldn't have enjoyed is the scrum, though. Benton had to do quite well there because Northampton really put them under pressure. And in the end, Gloucester delighted to drive Thornycroft into touch.
Yes, that initial drive from Northampton worrying for Gloucester, but what won't be worrying Richard Hill, the watching director of rugby, is the form at the line-out so far, and Fiddler again with that take.
Yeah, the line-out work has been very precise. Fiddler and Cornwall started well in that area.
It's the halfway line. Back now to Mapletoft, trying to make the break through the middle, but it was snuffed out. Got the ball on the floor and was going forward quite clearly, so Gloucester get the put in. And Northampton will have to be aware of Mapletoft in those runs.
Well, he's always prepared to take risks, and chances aren't from anywhere. Didn't see a gap there, but he had the virtue of going for it. And at least he committed himself to the decision. You can see there's no gap there, but he drives hard, gets to the floor, and that's why it's Gloucester's put in.
Hold, engage.
say that both sides have had a reasonable season. It's time for a breakthrough now, though, isn't it? Start to get into that top four. Ball's gone forward. But the referee had already given a penalty because Don McKinnon had come round offside.
Here you are.
Well, not one of Mapletoft's better kicks. He does strike a good ball. Was actually on Coventry City's books as a schoolboy.
Well, he's a very talented footballer. Sees things so quickly.
There's that giant Cornwall again. Fiddler.
It's good work from the Gloucester tight unit.
Mapletoft just brought a little bit of space there. Stood back from Benton. With the kick not quite accurate enough.
And that's turned into something of a fairly big error there from Mapletoft, of course, because the ball has gone dead and out, and Northampton can go 35 metres back, and he's disgusted with himself. And I would imagine so is Richard Hill. A bit of a perfectionist, he would not have enjoyed that kick from his fly half.
Come on, we've got a good day, get it right. Righto, binding, binding.
Dawson pointing something out with the binding there to the referee, and he got his wish, a penalty, but it was Glanville who was backtracking.
Does so much unseen work, doesn't he, Pete Glanville?
Toms.
Keep moving forward. Get on your
There's
feet,
Glanville,
boys, both of you.
struggling though today. He started the match with a stomach muscle problem, and his feeling was before kick-off that he will give it as long as he can before the pain takes over.
They breed him hard in Gloucester. He could last 80 minutes, especially if his side are going well.
Hold it, back up, back up. Hold.
Important areas here, though. The scrum's looking slightly dangerous at the moment. Gloucester really aren't settled. You can see again Northampton just asking a few questions.
Driven off the base of the scrum by Deborah. Fiddler. This last couple of years, Rob Fiddler has piled on the pounds.
After the tackle, roll away.
Won his side a penalty there.
Well, Don McKinnon made no attempt to roll away from the tackle. You can see McKinnon just walking away. Good start for Fiddler.
And a good kick from Mapletoft. There's Deborah on the charge. And then taken on by Fiddler. See, much more power in those legs now.
And you can see the number 6, the Northampton shirt, McKinnon, holds him down, doesn't roll away. And a much better kick from Mapletoft. Good attacking position now for Gloucester.
And because it was a penalty, Gloucester will throw in. Deborah arching his back line, doing really well. Benton. Glanville.
On your feet, let it go! Let it go!
Benton again. Mapletoft. Toms. Fanalua couldn't take the ball with him. Mapletoft hacks on, and the knock-on wasn't given, and Mapletoft has gone through, but no, the referee has called them back. He was playing advantage. So Mapletoft denied his moment of glory.
Hold on, ball's away, ball's a long way.
But just another sign of how dangerous he can be. Knock on from Fanaloa. It's good work from Grayson coming across from fly half. There you can see it.
Okay,
But Mapletoft sniffs a half chance. But no doubt, right decision from Colin Hawke.
yes, it's okay. And hold, you're off. Forward.
Grayson thumping that downfield. And getting the bounce. That's a massive kick from Grayson. He's playing with such confidence.
Well, and you know, on an afternoon like this, with the firm surface, if that ball hits the ground, it could go anywhere. And Grayson, he saw space, fired it into it, and just watch the bounce here. That's good to firm on the side of firm.
40 to throw. Easy for Fiddler that time, unchallenged.
That was efficient line-out work again from the home side.
And the throw spot on. What England would have given for that 7 days ago. Ian Hunter coming forward from full-back to set it back to Dawson to Grayson. Matt Allen. Gregor Townsend. No way past Fanaloa. Home crowd like that.
He's a robust centre, Fanaloa. He'll look forward to getting to grips with Townsend.
Grayson's long pass, too long.
Listen to the shed. Ironic cheers for Paul Grayson. They do like to see a current England player suffering. It lifts them.
Well, I hope they've got their sun cream on today. It's not quite that hot, but it is a pleasantly warm February afternoon. We're still to have our first points. Grayson looking to release Thornycroft, but misjudging the pass. And it's Gloucester ball. Toms. Thrown down by Poultney, but he held on to the ball. That was the key.
And you can see the virtue of winning ball at the tail of the line out. Across the game line so quickly.
Hands out.
Benting probing for the corner. Awkward for Hunter, but he did call for the mark.
Confident start from Ian Hunter. At his best, a very, very exciting player. Dogged by injuries, though, this season, and for, well, many seasons past. But keeps his eye on the ball, Hunter. And there you can see, calling the mark.
Four to be accurate again. Mapletoft. Back goes Lumsden. Through quickly is Slightholme. Made a big impression, John Slightholme, since he arrived at Northampton from Bath. And there, along with Gregor Townsend, making sure that there was no way back for Gloucester with that particular move.
Well, at the moment, the fly halves are firing back blanks with their passing. Another bad ball from Mapletoft. It's one from him, one from Grayson. Lumsden cleared it up, but it was good, powerful defensive work from Slightholme, driving him into touch with Townsend's help, so Northampton get control of the ball.
There's Clark. And the good hooker going round to support. Pountney is wrestling to get that ball back. Now with Scotland A, Budge Pountney knocking on the door for full honours, but a little tap forward.
And the big cheer tells you it was another England player making the little mistake. A little bit scrappy at the moment, and McGeechan, he'll be disappointed because Northampton aren't at the moment able to generate the pace they've been putting into their game lately. It's only really come from quick taps and go, but at the moment Gloucester are making it very hard for them in the tight area. Well, there you can see Gloucester's line out, incredibly efficient at the moment. Not only are they winning all their own ball, but they're getting to Northampton as well, and at the moment that's a key area of this match.
A bit frustrating so far. We had high hopes for this match. Still have those hopes. Long time to go. Haven't reached the first quarter yet. Just needs a little bit more control from half-back. Mapletoft with that kick. Gets Gloucester moving forward. And it gets the crowd going as well.
I think he wanted to put a bit more on that than he got, though, and of course it bounced at right angles. And Northampton, they won't mind too much. They've gone backwards a bit, but they've got the ball. At the moment, Mapletoft isn't really on top of his game. But Gloucester, their best, they need him firing, as Leicester found out a couple of weeks ago.
As many have done here at Kingsholm. Only Harlequins have won in the league here in the last 18 months.
Cute line out there, really good low flat throw, but another ball lost.
But another penalty given. Grayson to touch.
It's a good little line out, isn't it? Nice and flat. There's the dummy jump, and Chandler takes it at head height standing straight through. Chandler winning that one again.
Townsend, nice pass off to Hunter, and Hunter's got pace and power, as has Thornycroft, but they couldn't get away. Cover tackling good from Gloucester, and then the penalty given. Ball worked back on the floor after the tackle had been made, and Mapletop responds for Gloucester. Now this is more like it. Benton. Always keen to use the power first.
Last week now.
Suck in the opposition defence. That's what Fiddler is trying to do again.
But they're not building real momentum because the defences are very good on the fringe. Both sides going nowhere in that area at the moment.
Got to look for some width. Poor old Richard Toms really felt that, I'm sure. He was the meat in that particular sandwich. And Northampton will put into this scrum.
Well, that was a little bit claustrophobic, wasn't it? No real ambition. Little pop for Toms, who's had some early success, but straight into Grayson, and Chandler and McKinnon there as well. Nowhere to go.
The triple-decker, wasn't it? One of yours.
You and your appetite.
I think you're on dodgy ground there. Dawson. Again, he's prepared to keep it tight first.
Well, they're trying to suck both sides in before releasing the wide space, but at the moment it's not really working.
Townsend made a hard break, slight home, keeps it alive. Hunter's there. Well retrieved by Pagel. Dawson quickly out to Grayson, and now he tries the space in behind Johnson, the winger. Awkward high bounce for Johnson, and Townsend through to make the tackle, and Gloucester struggling here. Catlin is caught.
It was an important catch by Catlin, one-handed though. I think he saved the day.
Mapletop looks for the safety of touch, of that there was no doubt, but he's only found Hunter. Still Hunter, Townsend. Only slight home out wide on this near side. So they go left. Grayson. Chance here, Hunter.
He's looking sharp today, Ian Hunter, running good lines.
Really keen to get his hands on the ball, the fullback, which is good to see. Allen's in there. Dawson. Grayson. Gloucester desperately hanging on. And this is a good situation for Northampton.
Look at themselves, nose on their feet, tackle only.
Now it's important for Northampton's South African recruit Gary Pagel to get stuck into Vickery. Northampton will really want a big, aggressive drive here. And as is often the case, both sides taking a bit of a break. Vickery down at the moment.
He's got a key part to play now, though.
Well, the last thing Gloucester need with the scrum, just a couple of metres from their own line, is their tight head prop struggling.
It was Pagel who won their meeting in the cup tie. There's Vickery getting caught in the tackle. Trying to bring down Townsend. In doing so, injured himself.
Just landed awkwardly. I think it's on the left shoulder. That's his tackle rate, though. You can see doing very well. Just caught by his own man as well. Awkward landing.
Well, gone are the days when the England side was picked well in advance of the international, and if you're about to make your debut, you were given the Saturday off. This is the professional world. No England team name yet, and Vickery very much playing for a place.
Yes, the last thing he will want is to go off. But he does look in some discomfort at the moment.
What are we doing?
Gloucester need him to be running at 100% here.
Well, if I was Gary Pagel, I would be wetting my lips now. Vickery doesn't look comfortable, and you feel that Northampton are really going to try and put something through this scrum now. Get ready for the weight coming on.
It's Window against Stewart on this near side, away on that far side. That confrontation, Pagel and Vickery.
Well, Tony Window's going to have to play his part here and really try and disrupt Northampton.
That's good. Hold in. Engage. Righto. Hold there.
Referee Hawke wants to get it right.
Well, it's a big scrum and neither side wants to give the other an easy advantage.
It's interesting that the referee has come over to have a look at the binding between Window and Stewart.
Window's got him in some difficulty there, you can see. It's undermined the shunt. Good play.
Well, he delivered there, didn't he, for his side, Window? With Vickery still returning to full fitness. In he goes again, another big drive, forcing Northampton to play it, but Matt Allen nearly sneaks his way through. Scored 2 tries against Gloucester in the cup tie. And Northampton get a further chance.
Resolute defence from Gloucester close to the scrum. Tom's a very, very accomplished defender. Matt Allen running the short line. They scored in the cup. Tom's ready there.
They certainly have the ability behind the scrum if they want to use it, but Seeley is going to try and rumble over himself, the number 8. And Gloucester get men there in the nick of time. Dawson, Grayson, it's Townsend, but the midfield remains firm from Gloucester.
It's another very good tackle from Richard Toms, you know. But this is pressure, and Northampton, they must come away with something here. This is the most concerted period we've had in the game so far. It'll be a big psychological boost for Gloucester if they can hold here.
Roll away. Let the tackle roll away both sides.
You can see Northampton just starting to dominate the game at the moment, but it's encouraging when you're under pressure and the score's 0-0.
Interesting alignment there of the Northampton backs. They're all sweeping to this side now as Grayson sent it out to Hunter. Townsend on, slight home. Can he regather his composure here? Turns it back inside. Seeley's got hands on it, but Devereux, his opposite number, holds him up. And Gloucester turn it over. That almost worked, but almost is not good enough. And to a great cheer from the Kingsholm supporters, Gloucester survive.
Good play from Northampton. They lined everyone straight behind Grayson and then flooded the one side. They got a man over, but Gloucester doing very well there just to hang on. Simon Devereux did well, and that's a big turnover.
That lineup of the backs very similar to what we saw from the New Zealand All Blacks on their tour.
Yes, because in the opposition, you split 3 and 3 because you don't know which way they're going. And if all 5 go the one way, then you've got men over. And look at the quality of the tackling there at the moment. High class.
That's one of the major reasons why it remains 0-0. And Pagel has been penalised here. Penalty to Gloucester. So Vickery won that one.
Well, it's not the war yet, but that's a significant battle for Gloucester to win. They will be delighted with that 5-minute defensive work. But Vickery still on the pitch, and he's come through that well.
That's a silver BMW M980GDD. Please move it. It's blocking an entrance. It'll be moved for you if you don't get there
and
very,
as we
quickly.
approach the half-hour mark, Gloucester, having kept Northampton out, will try and build from deep here, and they'll be given a further opportunity to do so, because having given away a penalty at the scrum, they now give one away at the line-out, Northampton, and there's some incensed Gloucester supporters and players out there. Fiddler is down on the floor.
Well, that's dangerous play. We see too much of this in the English game, you know. Line-out jumpers taken out. Watch Fiddler jumping at 2. And you can see he's just upended there by a combination of Phillips, and I think it was Stewart. He rises high. And he's just pulled from the top by Chandler, pulled him down.
It is so dangerous. Of course, Gloucester supporters well aware that Dave Sims is out of the side because of a similar kind of situation and therefore injury when he fell on his shoulder.
I think it's an area of the game where I'd like to see the yellow card used a bit more often. It's dangerous play.
Well, Chandler's already seen a yellow card, of course. But Gloucester get their reward.
Devereaux snaffled that well, that missed the man.
You can see why he's in. He's in the side purely on form. Jomo not selected today. He's on the bench. Another signing from Bath, and yet another penalty for Gloucester.
Mapletop will be looking to drive this one very deep because the Gloucester line-out working so well, they'll feel they're able to conjure something off it. But again, it's not quite the killer blow, is it? It's a safe, solid kick, but it's not in the danger zone.
It sums up the match so far. The match hasn't gone into the danger zone at all.
Mark Cornwall, he's having a good game, isn't he? Good line-out presence.
Both sides yet to take the risk. But now, the Gloucester drive is on. And this is what they simply love at Kingsholm. Mapletop, little show to Toms, but it's Glanville, the captain. Nathan Carter had gone with him. Hunting as a pair, those two. But that was coming back on the Northampton side, and they have in fact been given the put-in.
Again, undermining the game, little errors. And that Gloucester fan is not happy with his team there. I'm not too happy with his hat.
Well, I don't think we'll see him at Ascot in the summer.
It's the height of fashion here, though. Great line-out take. Look at this work from the Gloucester forwards, low and driving. They've been doing that since about 1873. Where is Ascot? Nowhere near here, is it?
I think he's been making that hat since 1873.
I'd take up another profession if I was him then.
Benton round offside. Good confrontation between Benton and Dawson. Here's Catlin. England A-man now. Caught by Slightholme.
Yes.
Benton, Mapletop had to stretch for it. He took it in his stride and then met the brick wall of Northampton defence.
Another turnover. The tackling 15 metres or so off the scrum ruck areas is very, very good, and that's why we're getting so many turnovers. Second row's attacking fly halves. It's only one winner there.
Dawson. Grayson combining with the midfield and then looking to be able to flip it along the line again, but it never came back to him. Gets another chance. Townsend. Nicely worked back from McKinnon to Thornycroft, and Thornycroft has beaten Catlin. Now, has he got the strength and power to get there? My goodness, he has, you know. What an individual try that is from Harvey Thornycroft. That is one of the best finishes you'll see. Gloucester will ask severe questions about the tackling, but take nothing away from the winger here.
Well, Thornycroft does well. He's come from the other wing. It's a lovely inside ball, but this is the key tackle. Chris Catlin, the first line, he misses him, and now he's coming in. He's straight through Benton. Toms can't stop him, and he whirls his way across the line. That's the tackle that mattered, though. You've got to make your first line tackles. Catlin didn't, and then Harvey Thornycroft steps inside Benton, who's got no body position at all. Storms through Fanaloa. That's a good finish.
Very much a local hero, Thornycroft. And that's why.
By local, I assume you mean Northampton and not here. He's not now, but that's a good finish, isn't it, from Harvey Thornycroft?
Well, he's the first Northampton player to reach the 100 league game mark. He's been a loyal servant, and over the years he's repeatedly come up with finishes like that, but that will rank as one of his best, I'm sure, when he looks back at that moment. Grayson unsuccessful with the conversion. Well, it took a while in coming, but we have our first try, scored by Thornycroft. Northampton leading by 5 points to 0, but when it did come, it was a try to remember.
And I suppose you could probably say Northampton deserve it on the balance of play so far. They've had the control generally. Might just fire Gloucester up now. I think that score is probably exactly what this game needed.
McKinnon loses that. He played his part in the move for the try.
Nice to see you.
It's Gloucester ball. Just a question of when Mapletop will use it. Seeley coming round, referee lets it go. But he's got to go back for the offside he has.
Well, that was very naive play from Grant Seeley, wasn't it? There he goes, ball's not out. He comes round, just a little bit hasty, no advantage at all. And that is a clear-cut penalty and a chance for Gloucester to close the lead.
And that's perfect for the home team, isn't it? To get this chance straight away to come back into the match. Well, last season he got 269 points, was top of the list in the First Division. Looking for Gloucester's first three of the afternoon. Mapletop, never in doubt, straight through the middle. It's Gloucester 3, Northampton 5.
All stemmed from poor work from Don McKinnon. Dropped a restart from Mapletop where he was under no real pressure. Gloucester turned the ball over and the result 3 points. Sloppy play from the Northampton blind side. Gloucester won't be complaining.
And with half-time just around the corner, Gloucester will breathe a sigh of relief having got on the board. Toms cutting his way through the defence. That was good work, supported by Corporal. Now it's Johnson the flyer, and look at the pace that he's got. Beaten too, but it was a desperate lunge from Thornycroft which stopped him in his tracks. Ball's gone forward. How Northampton needed that tackle to be made. It's not just Thornycroft the scorer, it's Thornycroft the defender. With the applause for Brian Johnson.
And Richard Toms as well. Bad kick from Grayson. Look at this counter-attack. Dancing off his feet. Really good play. Aware of his space. Cornwall there involved, and good pace from Johnson. Arrived here from Newbury, and he does have gas, doesn't he? Too quick for Dawson. He comes in field, and just for half a second when Hunter missed him, you thought this could be a try. Doesn't Harvey Thornycroft do well?
It was that tackle that stopped him, and it needed to be made. Thornycroft very much involved in this first half. What a big drive from Gloucester. All those bad memories of Pagel's performance against Vickery in the cup tie are slowly being banished.
And Matt Dawson is furious with his pack. You can see he was on the back foot there, so he just hooked the ball into touch. He's made 10 metres, but Gloucester, with their all-powerful line out at the moment, have the ball. And you can just feel in the ground, the shed is starting to make a bit of noise. They've just got something to hang on to now.
In many ways, it's a shame that it's half-time, isn't it? Just coming on us now because the game is just starting to take off. But the signs are much better for the second period as Toms goes on the crash ball. Benton recovers, Mapletop. Kick going into Clark.
Devereux regained it. He's had a good game as well. Big, solid number 8. No frills about him, but a muscular performance in the first 40.
He's converted from the lock position, Devereux. Seems to suit him, number 8. Just a feeling there again that Northampton had come through offside. Here's Johnson. And yes, referee was playing an advantage. And in these conditions, Mapletoft just looking at the post there.
Right. Carry on. Post it is.
And he's going to take it on.
Huh?
There is a breeze out there, and it's against Mapletoft, but it's not too strong. That's the size of it for Mapletoft. Made a good contact. He does kick well, doesn't he, Mapletoft? Really lifts the spirits. Having suffered that try from Thornycroft, Gloucester have got back on the rails thanks to the boot of Mapletoft and the lack of discipline from Northampton.
Now, indiscretion there from John Phillips, and Mapletoft made them pay. And they've got the lead back after that Thornycroft try. It's been a very good last 5 minutes.
A couple of needless offsides.
Forward off the
Changes the face of the game. Excellent again from Mapletoft.
Well, his confidence has risen with that kick going through. Much better strike from Mark Mapletoft, the hero of the shed. And they've rediscovered their voices. Good strike from Mapletoft. Doesn't hit it as high. He's into a breeze, as you said. He drills that low. It's a very good punt.
It had all the makings of a close encounter, this one. It was Chandler who won that for Northampton. That's it, half-time. Referee Colin Hawke calls a halt to a stuttering half, which eventually got going thanks to that Thornycroft try, and then Mapletoft bringing Gloucester right back into it, and in fact giving them the lead at the interval, 6-5.
It's a game where defences have been on top. There's not been enough dynamism from the side carrying the ball, and there have been too many errors so far. But it's well balanced, and it's going to be a very tight second half, I feel.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half, when the try was eventually scored, it was a well-worked one, but it still needed finishing, and Thornycroft with great speed and strength. Missed tackle by Catlin was crucial, but then Thornycroft had his head down, and there was only one place he was going, the try line. 2 penalties from Mapletoft give Gloucester a 6-5 lead at the interval.
They fell in France. And now Wales are coming. England will do whatever it takes. But the dark horse is about to strike. England v Wales. Live from Twickenham. Ford International Rugby next Saturday at 1, Sky Sports 2.
We see. We hear. We feel. We can even sense things. But for some reason, some of us sense more than others.
Madam, can I interest you in trying some Marmite today? Special commercial by us. Do you like some Marmite?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Not again. Can I get you to try some Marmite?
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
I don't want them.
And the taste may have changed because I'm taking just one
What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? All Mondeos now come with quick clear windscreen, CD player, and air conditioning as standard.
Live snooker coming up here on Monday afternoon with the 1998 Scottish Open. Defending champion Stephen Hendry will be joined by all the usual hot shots as well as the new kid on the block, Paul Hunter. That's Scottish Open snooker Monday afternoon from 2 here on Sky Sports 3. There have been a few breaks made here at Kingsholm this afternoon as well. Right now it's Allied Dunbar Premiership Rugby that's got our attention, with Gloucester taking on Northampton. It took 35 minutes or so for the deadlock to be broken, and it was Northampton's Harvey Thornycroft who scored the only try of the first half. 2 Mapletoft penalties responsible for the home side's narrow advantage. Gloucester lead Northampton by 6 points to 5. Our guest in the studio this afternoon is Dowie Morris. And Dowie, what do you make of that first half? It took a while to get going, didn't it?
Well, the sun is shining. We thought it was going to be a great open game, but as you know, they're two very proud countries, very proud clubs, and it's just a dogged forward battle. And like I said, for the first 35, it was a war of attrition. No one got the upper hand until sort of Northampton and Harvey Thornycroft sort of a great try.
Well, it started to perk up before 5 minutes before the first half interval, and it was a well-worked move, wasn't it, by Northampton, and well finished as well.
It was. I mean, Gloucester had been frustrating Northampton by slowing the ball up. On this occasion, they got good, quick ball, managed to carve it. Harvey coming off his other wing, getting the ball back in, and unfortunately for Gatling, should take the tackle. He unfortunately pushed through. Harvey's a big, strong lad. Benton across there, pushed him off, and then just carried 3 or 4 of them over with him. And this is what he can always do. He's just a strong lad. He was back inside. That's the missed tackle. You've got to make your tackles from full-back there. Scott Benton, unfortunately, he just pumps his legs and set the game on fire, really.
But as you said, we knew it was going to be tight, but it was up front, perhaps the Gloucester line-out responsible for the best passages of their play.
Oh, definitely. I think there's Chris Forty, the hooker. I think he hasn't missed one all day. He's one of the best sort of hooking throwing displays I've seen all season. But for me also with that is the scrummaging. We talked about Pagel and Vickery, and maybe Vickery's got a little bit of a knock on his head, but he's keeping his hand. But Tony Window against Matthew Stewart, he's given a torrid time, the Gloucester prop, so they've got a bit of an edge there. Also with the line out, you know, it's a key area, and I think Gloucester got the upper hand in the set pieces.
But there was a thought towards the end of that first half that Brian Johnson showed a great deal of pace, so they have got the ability to pounce out wide, haven't they, Gloucester?
They have. The new sort of signing from Newbury, they had the one, you know, Richard Toms taking it through there from a sort of a bit of a way. That's right, you see Richard Toms, the Australian there. Bit of a wayward kick from Grayson, and good forward play here. And all of a sudden, the flyer Johnson gets away from Matty Dawson, breaks the tackle, and luckily Hunter just stopped him there, and Harvey Thornycroft getting back. But that was a good move, probably one of the best moves, you know, Gloucester had of it, attempting to get a try. It was good.
Why did it take so long in coming? The attacking spirit.
Well, I just think they just sort themselves out. Gloucester are very good, like I said, at slowing this ball down. Northampton won it quick to get the likes of Townsend going or whatever and getting Grayson flat. They weren't able to do that. Their line-out wasn't going very well. The scrum wasn't very good. Well, they had a lot of pressure early on, just coming to the sort of second half when they had scrum after scrum after scrum, and Gloucester got it back. And I think if they'd have scored, then they would have done. But Gloucester are frustrated. And Northampton, what a quick game. They're not getting it.
So very briefly, quite difficult to tell from that first half, but which way do you see this one going?
I think with Gloucester with the wind at their backs now, I think, well, I've gone for Gloucester anyway. I think if they just keep it simple and they'll just drive at the heart, especially with the shed behind them, Mapletoft will just kick the penalties, and I think Gloucester will win. OK, well, it's a pretty tight first half, and let's hope it picks up from where it left off at the end of that first half before the interval. Gloucester lead Northampton by 6 points to 5 the second half after the break.
We have a new phenomenon. Buried in the permafrost, we found this
thing. An impressive beast with a 16-valve engine, ABS and alloy wheels, power steering, airbag, air conditioning, remote central locking, and electric windows. This Xanthia Desire 2 costs just 13,945 pounds on the road. It's one of 3 limited edition Xanthias available now.
The Citroen Winter Phenomenon. Now there's something in its area.
Notice this specimen, amazingly well preserved.
BT has made 13 price cuts in 2 years. As well as cutting the standard price of calls, BT's offering a new range of discounts. Just call 0800 003 800. Because you could be saving even more.
$250 laps, 500 miles. When these boys fire up and get the power of the freight train rolling, you can smell the excitement. You can smell the fear. It's the place where racing legends are born. The Daytona 500, Sunday at 5, live on Sky Sports 1.
We're just 7 days away from weekend 2 of the 5 Nations. Weekend 1 didn't go according to plan for England, but they can put all that behind them next Saturday when the Welsh begin their championship campaign. Live, only on Sky Sports England, take on Wales. And a few of the players we're watching right now will be involved in that game at Twickenham, but how many might depend a great deal on how they performed in our Premiership game this afternoon between Gloucester and Northampton. And after an attritional first 40 minutes, it's Gloucester 6th in the Premiership table, who lead Northampton 5th in the table by 6 points to 5. Well, the Saints have never won here in 6 years. I wonder if they can do it this afternoon. Let's hand you back to our commentators, Stuart Barnes and Miles House.
Well, with the sun gleaming on the cathedral, it's all very attractive this afternoon. Rugby quite hasn't lived up to the scenery outside the ground, but it was coming into its own, the match, towards the end of that first half. And the news from the dressing room is key news, really, because Phil Vickery has gone off at half-time and he's been replaced by Adi Powell, the prop forward. So Vickery, who took a knock in the first half, hasn't been able to recover, and it's Powell who comes on.
But Gloucester will be looking to keep up the momentum they built in the last 10 minutes of the half. They got the crowd behind them, and really they'll want to control this first 20 minutes. It's important that Northampton strike early and drive Gloucester deep.
Pountney brings the ball away.
Off his foot. No, off his foot. Shut up and get on with it.
Dawson. And Grayson picking out Catlin. This is good ball to run back. And the penalty given for an offside. Wasting that opportunity there, Gloucester. Alan Clark, the hooker, sets that back for Dawson.
It's a nervous start to the half for Grayson, who didn't enjoy a really good 40 minutes, and that's not helped Northampton.
McKinnon's drive, that goes forward. Grayson, and the referee had spotted it.
Gregor Townsend probably pleased the whistle blown as he collides with Pete Glanville. Had a traditional Gloucester welcome ready for Townsend. Northampton not been able to release the mercurial centre come fly half so far.
And they haven't been able to reproduce the performance of the Cup when they beat Gloucester by 30 points to 11. Ball from both sides just being kicked away.
That's great work from Glanville to stop Hunter so early. It was a poor kick from Mapletop, and Glanville just chased up and made a killing tackle early, killed the move.
Quite frankly, it's this poor kicking which is stunting the game. And as Hunter tried to counter, excellent work from Glanville.
Well, the Gloucester pack are putting in their tackles. Richard Hill will be delighted with that. Good work right there.
Here's Townsend. Hunter. Again, it's Glanville cross. Penalty in at the side.
And yet again, a promising Northampton move comes to nothing. Mapletop will want to drive Northampton back into their own half. It's a good kick from a tight angle. This was good play, though. Hunter came round very late. Townsend straightened his man. That was excellent.
Well, they may not be reaching their best form, these two teams, but 2 points still available here, and judging by the strength of the opposition on this day, then that's the kind of mindset that the other side should have. Look, they are for the taking, these 2 points.
Yes, and when it all comes down to it, 2 points, one playing brilliantly, and no more than 2 points, one not playing so well.
And now Northampton struggling up over halfway, getting it back to Dawson. Slightholme, don't often see him in a centre role kicking like that, but perhaps he should try it a little bit more. That was a fine kick from Slightholme.
Was a very good kick from the winger, but just signs that things aren't working for Northampton. The Dawson-Grayson axis not working, driving the ball forward, but really that was meant for Grayson, and Slightholme made the most of a not particularly good thing, and that's a very good kick from the England winger.
Against Northampton, Gloucester have won the last 3 meetings in the league and 3 out of 4 meetings at Kingsholm. Still too close to the fullback, that kick, and Hunter for Northampton.
But it's another turnover.
It's been the feature of this second half. Ball being turned over. Now it's Glanville trying the chip ahead. Slightholme had to be alert and also brave to get down there. Didn't release the ball though, did he? And he gives away a penalty.
Sharp play from Gloucester, and that man in pain, Pete Glanville, but he's had a very good start to the half.
Well, he's fallen awkwardly on that arm. He's already suffering from a stomach muscle strain, which put his place in doubt today. That's how he fell.
Yep, on the left arm. But it's good vision again from Glanville. Knew he didn't have the pace or the space, so the little chip turned Slightholme, and then good chasing work. Mark Cornwall there. Decision made that Slightholme hadn't got off his feet. I thought Cornwall went down quite quickly on his knees. Marginal call, that.
And Glanville, who, as we saw there, tried to take the brunt of the fall by taking all of his weight on his left arm, and seen arms broken in situations like that before.
Well, this would be a major blow for Pete Glanville and for Gloucester. He's a real influential Gloucester man. You can see here, a lot of weight gone down on that left hand. That doesn't look good.
Well, if there's any doubt he shouldn't go on, he's got the relevant medical advice there. It looks as if he's going to try to stay on the field. He's got the heart of a lion, Glanville.
I suppose he's thinking the Venus de Milo's done quite well without an arm. I can carry on. It's the way they think here.
Mapletop got 2 in the first half to give his side the lead, but not that time. And in such a tight match, those kicks or missed kicks will matter.
Yeah, there have been so few chances that you just have to take the 3 points when they're there for the taking. And for Mapletoft, well, that wasn't the most difficult kick. But you can see restart ball. Gloucester doing very well in the set piece. They've scrummaged well, line out well, good aspect as well. The Gloucester 8 have had a good afternoon.
Well, that was testing Glanville's fitness. He wasn't slow to get hands on it, couldn't make it cleanly, but he was supported by Toms, then the rest of the forwards. And Gloucester set this position going.
Wasn't that intelligent play from Toms? He saw it was loose, came in from centre to help his pack. Good play from the Australian.
You can see why he won 5 caps. Talented player, could have won more. Benton searches out Mapletoft. As Northampton had come forward, Mapletoft rightly delayed the pass there. There was a chance of an interception. But they had been too eager, Northampton, and were up offside. That's a vital statistic, isn't it? Northampton can't afford to concede many more.
Well, I think the guilty man is Paul Grayson. You can see that's the gain line. There is Grayson. He's the wrong side of it. That's why it's offside. Paul Grayson, a chance for Gloucester. You can see Grayson. He comes up, shakes his head, but he knows he's the guilty party.
That's 2 in a row now that he's missed. So not the form of the first half.
You know, like Northampton didn't take their chances in the first half, and at the moment, Gloucester the guilty side. But McGeechan will be worried because Northampton at the moment just can't generate the pace in the game they need to release their talents wide. It's just not happening.
Falls back to Grayson. Allen goes against Nathan Carter. Good support inside was from Clark and then Poutney. Northampton keep the ball. What have they got to do to break through either side?
Well, I think Northampton have really got to inject pace from somehow. They've got a big blind side, you can see that. Ian Hunter is a really dangerous player, and I'd like to see people like Hunter coming into these zones, attack Gloucester there, because Glanville, they lack a little bit of pace here, and they can really hurt them. But at the moment, their scrummage isn't sharp enough.
Well, they were searching out for that space, but no Hunter around to inject the pace that time.
But by hitting blind, they open up a bit more space open, and now they try and go wide.
Now we do see Hunter coming in from fullback. Allen, Townsend, and McKinnon. Pagel back to Dawson, Grayson, Thornycroft, already got 1 try, the winger. Hunter, little round the back pass to Allen.
Into the meadowlark lemon there from Hunter.
Grayson, Seeley. Are they causing enough damage in the Gloucester defence to find a way through? Grayson releases Townsend, and slight home check by Lumsden. But the referee had already given a penalty to Northampton because Gloucester were offside this time. This is surely 3 points.
Well, I would imagine that Northampton will look for the 3 points here. I don't think there's any doubt they'll be looking for the chance.
And Grayson's the man. Can he succeed where Mapletoft has failed in this second half and restore the lead to Northampton? Gloucester supporters will will it wide, but Grayson slots it through. No trouble at all.
That was better from Northampton, their best concerted spell of the game. Went one way, lovely change of angles, Townsend and Hunter, good play. Soft hands as well from Northampton, much better play. They stretched Gloucester for the first time and they got their reward.
Toms caught by Chandler. Ball already knocked on though.
Here it is. Stomach screen.
Ian Hunter, the Northampton fullback, formerly of England. As we were saying earlier, injury has severely affected his career.
Yes, but he's looking the fittest I've seen him for a while this afternoon. It's good to see his hair has grown as well from our profile. The Vialli lookalike from Northampton.
He obviously uses the same restorer that you do. Hunter trying to get this back to his scrum half, Dawson. It's Townsend's kick. And Kathleen didn't really want to have to play it.
Good strike from Gregor Townsend. Involved in that last attack. Lovely hands, and that's good boot. Nice diagonal. Gloucester get the ball. Kathleen watches it into touch, but of course they're 75 metres away, and at the moment, you know, the Northampton defence is looking very good.
You're not good.
This is where Northampton will want this game to be played. They're stopping Gloucester getting any quick second phase, and the result is that they can't get pace into their game.
Going on, Willie.
Gloucester are about to make a change, I think. Steve Ajomo, the former England back row man, who, according to Richard Hill, made the move from Bath to Gloucester in order to win back his England place and add to those 11 caps, is about to come on, and the widely predicted removal of Glanville, the skipper, is now to take place. Great round of applause, tremendous respect they have for their captain here. I think it's probably that arm injury which has taken over. Add to that the stomach problem, and off goes Glanville, and on comes Ajomo.
That's not a tactical switch, but Steve Ajomo can offer extra weapons to the Gloucester team. Very talented line out forward. Question mark about his fitness, but with 25 minutes to go, they could well exploit his dynamism around the park. He could actually get them across that game line.
Offside. As clear as it can be. No point arguing about it now, McKinnon.
Well, my granny saw that one, and she's 95 and lives the other side of the channel.
So that's where you went last week.
For a while. This Gloucester line-out's worked well. Cornwall had a towering game, you know. He has been colossal in the line-out, and it's good tight driving. And also, as you say, credit to Chris Forty as well. He's really hit the mark so far. Kiss of death.
Down from Cornwall, good tap, good quick ball. Fanaloa, he didn't take the ball.
Off his nose, the decision.
And Northampton get the put in.
Well, Fanaloa will not have impressed his forwards. Gloucester Pack deserve better than that. That's really high quality ball. Flat, eye off the ball. He's already across the gain line if he holds the ball. Bad error.
Dawson. It's Townsend. Don McKinnon worked that back well. John Phillips. Good spell this for Northampton. Lumsden there with the tackle, the winger, but it's going to be moved wide now. Allen stays on his feet so well, Allen, until the support came from Poultney. They'll have options both sides here. Seeley's going himself. And that's a knock-on. Just at the very end of the move. That's really frustrating for the Saints. And the clearance, a fine one. Mapletoft with the ball away. Another missed opportunity. But Ajomo played his part. Good tackle.
Well, he did. Gloucester on the ropes there. Seeley going for the line, only a metre to go. But look at Ajomo. He stops him in his tracks. And Northampton try and force the ball over. There's the knock-on, and a good clearance from Mapletoft. That could be another of those important moments in this game. It's a hell of a figure, isn't it? 17 line-outs, 1 to just 5 from Northampton. And some of those are off Northampton ball as well.
But it's Northampton who lead. And it's their supporters in good voice. Chris Johnson is preparing to come on, the reserve hooker. This might be Alan Clark's last throw. He picks out Seeley. Dawson, Grayson, Hunter.
Did well to stay on his feet there because that move was telegraphed and Richard Toms was all over him.
No way through there. Dawson, Grayson. And it's Brian Johnson falling awkwardly for him, and Thornycroft nearly took it, but Catlin has. As the pendulum swings, Hunter needed to get there and be cool and calm, and that's exactly what Ian Hunter was. But both sides there in with a chance of a breakaway. First Northampton, then Gloucester.
Well, that was razor-edge stuff. A cruel bounce for Johnson. Thornycroft almost through, and Catlin, he does very well. Doesn't have the space, but it's a lovely kick, and Hunter's left with no options but to gather that one up and just find safety with the left boot. Great chasing by Catlin and Johnson.
Another line-out win for Gloucester, but this time, because the ball wasn't thrown in correctly, not straight.
Well, that'll be a disappointment for Gloucester. They had a good position there. It's not the greatest match ever, but it's fascinating because it's just swinging all the time, this pendulum.
Seeley staying on his feet for long enough to arrive, to allow the support to arrive.
Simon Devereux, the guilty party, didn't roll away from the tackle.
We're just about to reach the 1 hour mark. Still anybody's game.
Good work here from Grant Seeley. Gets across the gain line. Simon Devereux can't take him down quickly enough. When he is taken down, just watch the cherry and white number 8. No attempt to move away. Hawk's hand goes up. Penalty.
Down from Phillips. Seeley again. And McKinnon as well. Big physical presence in the back row. Matt Stewart couldn't hold on to that, but it's come up for Seeley, and there's Dawson nearly breaking through. Away from Fiddler beautifully. Mapletoft, the trickery was all there, didn't go forward, and the penalty was going to be given anyway.
Man taken out without the ball there. There's a little inside ball from Mapletoft, spotted half a metre of space. The penalty for Gloucester. This game is being played between 22s. Now you can see here's Mapletoft with the ball, little inside ball, and Toms, he's pulled back there, no doubt. Don McKinnon, the guilty party.
Northampton are going to make a double change. Interesting one. Martin Hines is coming on for Matt Stewart at prop, and that expected change at hooker, Johnson for Clark.
Well, Matty Stewart has not enjoyed his afternoon. Tony Window's given him a torrid time in the front row.
Prize gone.
Of course, Stewart, a member of the current Scottish side. Here's Allen. Still going.
Through Mapletoft, that's the Gloucester fly half's real weakness.
Grayson. There was just a feeling of an overlap there. It all slowed down and Slightholme will be pulled back. But there were men out wide.
Not great rugby, to say the least. But here you could see Matt Allen on the attack. Running at Mapletoft, they had joy in the cup and joy there. Straight through him. But alas for Northampton, they didn't use the ball very well. And again, I've got to say it, Paul Grayson a little bit indecisive at the moment.
Turn up, guys, thanks.
It's fair to say neither fly half has really imposed themselves this afternoon, and that's one of the reasons why we've sometimes slipped into mediocrity.
If not the main reason. Free kick given. Referee says wait a bit. He's got something to say here. Northampton weren't keen to go back 10 metres. The crowd delight in the fact that they've been forced to retreat. Here's 40. Benton.
First time we've really seen Benton try and snipe, because Northampton have slowed the ball down. They've done it again. That's one of the things they're so good at. They just kill the ball.
And that's Benton's trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, when Gloucester get ahead of steam up, they get their rucking game going. Benton will really drive through. Benton and Slightholme. Oh, well, John Slightholme, he upset the shed because he punched a rugby ball. And Benton, he didn't like his ball, get him punched.
Stand up.
Who said it's a hard game?
Stand up. Come over here.
There's not the place to choose to do that, is it, in front of the shed?
You unbind.
No.
Unbind.
When they're not at Gloucester, they're normally at the Bolshoi Ballet, this lot. John Slightholme, of course, he used to play for Bath. That will not endear him to the shed.
Closer. Come a bit closer. Come a bit closer. Okay. Right, hold there. Thank you.
Good attacking scrum here, though. You can see another big blindside. If Gloucester can come in field and then hit it the other way, but again, it's a mess.
Well, they needed to control that ball, and Debo couldn't, but they do try the blind side. Fanalua out to Lumsden. Hardly got his hands on the ball today, Audley Lumsden. Remember in the opening minutes, he nearly scored a try, but nearly is all they've done so far until Toms tries. Jomo Johnson.
Good play from Toms there. Slowed down again.
Jomo has injected some power since he came on. Benton, Mapletoft. Now it's really opening up for Catlin. Couldn't make it through the middle though. Chant for the second row had got across to make the tackle, and that was vital. Wins his side a penalty. And Dawson took it quickly. Gloucester certainly weren't 10 metres. Townsend thought it should have been retaken, but then realising that the referee hadn't blown his whistle, kept it going. Dawson, Hunter. And it's Johnson who goes back. He's got Thornycroft against him. Neat work from Johnson. He's proving very elusive, isn't he? Jomo.
Had a good game, Johnson, and as you say, Jomo involved in a lot since he's come on.
Toms wanted it to get that back line moving again. Mapletoft floats it out, and it falls to Fanalua. Now Slightholme will have to go so to catch this man. Fanalua brought down by Hunter. Needs to get up again, and he's done that. Lumsden will score for Gloucester. And for the first time this afternoon, the roof comes off.
The shed are delighted, and it's Audley Lumsden with the score. But it comes from this ambitious pass from Mapletoft. Slightholme slipped, and that gave Fanalua the chance he needed. He got behind them, and doesn't he do well? Two tacklers, but they don't hold him, so he's entitled to stand. And Lumsden, well, he has just followed him up under the post, and it's simple for Mapletoft.
Nice and easy for the kicker, but you're absolutely right. He wasn't held in the tackle, and that is why he can get up and go.
And it's good play from Lumsden, isn't it? Because cover was still there. Dawson's furious, but that's a good decision.
They're just saying that Lumsden hardly touched the ball. Well, he has now, hasn't he? And he's on the scoreboard as well. The overall score, Gloucester lead by 13 points to 8. So both sides have a try. How will Northampton respond?
More to the point, how will it lift Gloucester? What a kick from Mapletoft.
Much more confidence about that kick. It has lifted them.
Well, this is a lovely strike. Playing the percentage game. Defence is on top, so when you're 5 points clear, make the opposition come from deep.
Here we are.
It's important at this stage, in a tight game when neither sides are playing well. Really, Mapletoft has got to run the game. He's kicked an awful lot this afternoon. I think we'll see more of that. 9 and 10 really must control it now they're in front.
Devereux bursting through at the base of the line. He's done that all afternoon, apparently on the wrong side. Gloucester were trying to ruck him out of the way. They've got the scrum anyway.
That's been gutsy stuff from the Gloucester 8. Fiddler rises early, that puts off the thrower, and Devereux, he comes through. What a solid game he's had. Real tough performer.
Well, I know when we were looking at the two teams before kick-off, we both looked at the Gloucester pack and thought, that's a good old Gloucester 8, isn't it?
Durability, the key word. Devereux, well, he's as durable as they come. They have lacked a little bit of pace in the pack, and that, of course, makes it difficult for them to really expand into their 15-a-style game. But the pack really have been the dominant factor thus far.
And in the set piece, they've lacked for nothing. Line out or scrum.
No, they've dominated in the line out, and I think they've certainly shaded Northampton in the scrums, and that's going some, because Northampton with Pagel have scrummaged well. And even with Vickery off and Powell's on, they've still gone well.
And remember what Pagel did to Gloucester in the cup tie just a couple of weeks ago. He was the winner that day. He's in danger of being on the losing side now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Tony Window on the other side, really, has given Northampton all sorts of problems. He's offset, really, the influence of Pagel.
Well, he's driven Matty Stewart off the field.
That's one for the front row Union. He'll be notching that up on his bedroom wall. Strange people, these prop forwards. Not that I know too many of their bedroom walls.
Mapletoft, lovely little loop, and Fanaloa is going through to score try number 2. Now he's made one and scored one.
Fanaloa, but this is traditional Gloucester back play a la Mapletoft. Lovely little loop with Richard Toms, and Fanaloa comes in short. Super play from the midfield. That's really good play.
And Mark Mapletoft won't complain if all his conversions are as easy as this.
Super play. Watch this. Tom straightens it as Mapletoft goes wide. Fanaloa short. In, out, in. That's classic midfield play. Thank you very much. The shed. I think that is wondrous.
28 is a healthy lead, but hold on. That's fine work on the floor. It was Cornwall who got down.
What a replacement he's been for Dave Sims today. He's had a tremendous match.
Mapletoft's a different player. Gloucester are a different team. The atmosphere in the ground has changed somewhat as well inside the final 10 minutes.
Well, we said that when you're winning in a tight game, you've got to control the game from 9 and 10, and that's just what Benton and Mapletoft in particular are starting to do now. Driving Northampton deep, and of course the last time they did that, it resulted in a 7-pointer. It's just started to come good when it matters.
Johnson and Benton. A few words exchanged there. cry of "You're not singing anymore" from the Gloucester fans.
Not much evidence of Saints marching around the Gloucester area at the moment.
Still time to get back into it, but they must score soon, Northampton. It was they who got the first try of the afternoon. Thornycross score in the first half, but it's Gloucester who proved to be the stronger of the two as the match has gone on.
And that's really because the pack have generally controlled the game. An excellent effort from the Gloucester 8, and the odd magic touch from Fanaloa and Mapletoft. That was a lovely score, you know. That was the highlight of the game for me. Midfield play at its very best. They pulled defenders out of position, and then they struck. Mapletoft's going wide here, and Fanaloa, look how short he comes. Bang, straight as a die, under the post. That's a lovely try.
There was no stopping him from there. We've already seen his pace, but he will be first to thank Mapletoft there for creating the space. His line was good, Fanaloa, but the fly half did an awful lot to help make that try.
Yes, he did, and the other man, of course, is Richard Toms, who's had a quietly influential game. He ran a lovely straight line. Mapletoft drifted round him. That was a super piece of play.
And he's a good organiser, Toms, as well, isn't he, to have in your back line?
Well, that's been seen today, and that's one of the reasons why Northampton haven't been able to open their game up. The one fact, apart from the Gloucester 8, is Toms has closed down space when there's been a danger. Reads it well.
Yes, I'll be interested in your man of the match this afternoon. Have a little think about it now. Few candidates. Poutney. Gloucester happy to defend. They've given a penalty away, and Dawson knows that the time is slipping away here. Certainly against his side. Referee stops play for a word with Gloucester. Just wanted to make sure that they clear away from the tackle, which they didn't do. 3 points no good for Grayson. He's got to go for the corner and go for the try, but he's just found Lumsden, and Lumsden plays that beautifully up the line. Dawson in with a big tackle. He's in touch, Lumsden. It stood up for him nicely, but it was inventive play.
Well, that was sloppy play from the England fly half, but that was a sublime piece of skill from Audley Lumsden. Really well there. Confidence up from scoring that try. Lovely play. Grayson, cardinal sin. You can't miss touch from penalties. But what's this? For a sweet little chip. Beautiful control. It's all going for Gloucester at the moment.
Good hit from Matt Dawson, stopping Lumsden in his tracks, but not before, once again, the Gloucester man who roused the crowd. It's there for Northampton, and they have to use it inside the final 5 minutes.
Good hit from Ajomo. Stopped Northampton in their tracks.
Well, it certainly wasn't a tactical move to bring Ajomo on. And Glanville hadn't let Gloucester down at all. He left the field because of injury, the skipper, but Ajomo has made an impact. And that's exactly what he's in the squad for.
Well, he had a point to prove. He's a big money signing from Bath. He hasn't really been cutting the mustard so far. He's come on for 25 minutes and played a big game, proved himself to his teammates and the Gloucester faithful.
Interesting there, Dawson, the scrum half, come right out and Seeley took it on. It was pretty obvious that Northampton were going to do that once Northampton had come on, once Dawson had come away. But it's all to no avail. Benton. The penalty has been given, though, to Northampton.
Hands on the floor. Of course, the penalty, no use at all to Northampton. 12 points down with 3.5 minutes to go. This has to be a kick to the corner and a catch and drive.
Well, Well, 7 points from this move, and it could get interesting. It's now or never, though.
Well, Jason Chandler not had his greatest day. Still won 6 line-out takes, and you wouldn't bet against him being the target now.
Well, they refuse to accept anything else than a home win. Johnson to Chandler, then it's Pagel, such a powerful man.
Well-organised defence round the fringe there, though.
They've read that well. Hines takes it with him. Almost up to that line. Dawson couldn't see a way through the forest of legs.
The Gloucester tie 5 making great tackles again.
Hines doing a bit of mountaineering there on Lumsden. But the whistle had gone. Hines says sorry.
Martin Hines with the temper the wrong side of Volcanic. There you can see the kindest thing you could say is he's getting Audley Lumsden out of the way. Looked a bit meaty.
Now will Dawson try something from here? We've seen him so many times exploit the blind side, the scrum half.
And this area, you know, Northampton have had their chances in the first half, but Gloucester scrummaging has been a key weapon. They held them out when it really mattered, didn't they? Reminiscent of that brief Bath game.
Almost lost that hill, but it's come back. Ajomo has a personal argument to sort out on that far side. Seeley caught by Devereux. In goes Benton. Penalty. And it's Ajomo who's been pulled out by the referee.
Well, that's a harsh decision, because normally when you start flailing around with your punches, it means you're being held in.
Dawson got to think quickly here. And they try the short side, and they've done enough to get the try. Thumb up from Spreadbury. It's Seeley, the number 8. Touch judge quick to signal there to referee Hawke. The try had been scored. He was happy that Grant Seeley had grounded the ball, and Northampton have got a chance. It's a slim one.
Nice little change of direction from Dawson. Gloucester thought they were going open. Just the one pass. Seeley, extra bolt. He's through Audley Lumsden, and Benton can't stop him.
Yeah, it's clear try, and you see it like that. Grayson, important to try and get these 2 points. Flags are up, he's got them now. We've got something here.
What a superb kick from Paul Grayson. Now the Gloucester pack have regained ball very well, and they must after this kick. It's a spanking 2-pointer. Important for Gloucester to get hold of this ball, count the clock down.
And it puts the win back in the thoughts of Northampton players and supporters. And that conversion miss, they were going for 7 to draw, but now, at 2015, slight home. We're into injury time. Grayson, Townsend, and there's some anxious looks all around us here. Dawson again, Pagel. Will Northampton have the final say? Will be a dramatic twist.
They haven't looked like scoring from this distance thus far, and they won't by kicking like that.
Another shocker from Grayson, Cattling. Hunter, Thornycroft. Trying to weave his magic again, but no, not this time. Robust challenge there. Benton, Mapletop. It's Gloucester with the ball. They will call the shots. Fanalua. It's important he retains it here, though, and there were 3 Northampton players trying to rip it off him and keep him in the air. Now, will Gloucester rue that?
Well, I thought tactically this is insane play from Mapletop. There's loads of space. He throws a great big pass to no one. All they wanted to do was push that ball into the right-hand corner. That's poor play there. Now it gives Northampton a final chance. Really called the tactical shots badly there, Gloucester.
Grayson, Hunter, they move it quickly, they might find some space for Thornycroft. He's forced to come back inside, off his wing. It's a bit tasty on the floor there. Dawson, Grayson, Pagel. Only one way he was going. Grayson tries again. It's Townsend. We know what he can do, and Grayson coming through.
Tom's in with a tackle again. He's everywhere in these dying moments.
Townsend once more. Ball's been lost, but penalty been given because Gloucester were offside.
It's a matter of how long left now. If they've got enough time, they could kick to the corner. If it's the last go, they're keeping it in hand.
But they certainly won't kick at goal. There's not enough time for that.
This is the last play.
There's Dawson, asked the referee there. Got to keep it alive now. Poultney. Helped by Seeley. Back with Dawson. Missed out Chandler. Good decision to get it out to Grayson and move it quickly. It's Matt Allen. Slight home. Everybody searching out the ball here. They needed to offer some width. It didn't come the other way. Referee checks his watch. Gloucester have the points. They held their nerve at the end. Defence was good. And the Northampton comeback comes to nothing.
Well, Fanaloa, the try scorer there. I think Gloucester deserved it, and I think generally it was because of their pack. A sterling effort from the Cherry and White 8, and one man in particular, Tony Window, my man of the match. A superb effort in the scrum when it really mattered. He put the work in, offset Pagel. A tremendous game from the front row forward.
Number one on his back, and number one for you as well today. Window certainly played his part, and there were some key scrummages in that game, and it was Window who was applying the major pressure.
And credit also to Fiddler and Cornwall in the second row. They had tremendous games. It was a gritty Gloucester win, wasn't it?
Well, in order to prop effectively, you need a good second row in behind you in that scrum, and Fiddler again, another promising performance from him. He rarely seems to put in a bad display these days, Rob Fiddler. Has to be one for the future.
And another tremendous atmosphere. If you love your club rugby hard and honest, this is the place for you, Kingsholm.
A good old traditional battle then, and it was Gloucester who came out on top. Took a while to get going, the match, but it turned out to be an entertaining end, didn't it?
I think it's fair to say it built to a decent crescendo.
So it's Gloucester who go off to congratulate each other.
And Gloucester once again prove that they're so difficult to beat at Kingsholm. That 20-point defeat in the Cup has been well and truly avenged, and Gloucester get another 2 points. It almost takes them out of sight and safety in the table. Big win for Gloucester.
Gloucester's win. I think it's high time we went down to the pitch and had a word with Mark Mapletop of Gloucester. He's talking with Will Chignall.
Mark, you fed the shed another great victory, but it was never in doubt, was it?
I began to wonder when I missed those 2 kicks early in the second half. I thought perhaps that was our chance to get out in front, but we managed to, score a couple of good tries. Terry, excellent in broken field. I think he's one of the best around, and give him opportunities like that, and he's going to finish the tries off for you.
It did take a long time to break them down, though, didn't it?
Yeah, they're a very good side. I mean, they gave us a bit of a hiding up there in the Cup, and we wanted to get them down here as quick as possible, and try and sort of exact revenge for that. But they are a very good side, very tough, playing a very similar style to what we do. So we know their strengths, and we always had a game plan to try and work to, and ultimately it worked.
Your tight five were stupendous today. The line-out worked so well for you.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, they responded well. We had a very disappointing result on Wednesday. Perhaps we didn't function very well in the scrum line or in the restarts, and they were brilliant today, and that's where games are won and lost.
And just finally, is Kingsholm the fortress of old still?
It is. I mean, we were very disappointed to lose to Quins early in the season in the league, and we said after that that we would try and make sure that we didn't lose again at home. So far, you know, we've managed to achieve that. What we've got to try and do now is generate this sort of passion and excitement away from home.
Congratulations, man.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Number 16.
Well, they are so difficult to beat here at Kingsholm, and another telling performance from Mark Maple.